Beep, 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 beep. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? Barry here, the EDI Jester. And for your delectation, some news today about Colchester. Now I'm going back in time. Oh, become a warrior teacher. Liking is everything, right? Helps get the algorithm out there and gives it a wobble so I can get in, right? So subscribe, and please share this on YouTube. If you want to become a warrior teacher, please do get hold of me by whichever way you can. There are details in the dooberies. Starting in March, third week. So really excited to see some of you in that. We're trying to get the numbers up. We need the numbers to get it to work. The more the merrier. So please do come on board. I've got a warrior teacher called Robbie, right? Okay, who's currently going through the seminars with me and a number of others in his group. And Robbie is doing his own work. He has a website which he blogs on, and it's called Roadless Traveller, which is great. That says everything about Robbie. Roadless Traveller. He's continued to move through the world, but like most of us, at times he's confused or uncertain. So we have great debates in the sessions with Robbie. And so I want to bring your attention to something that was that happened, and that he's done some work on to get it onto a blog, right? So on this blog, which your links are in the dooberies, he's written the Outhouse and its funding from Colchester City Council. And this is a brilliant example. There's a video in the article as well. This is a brilliant example of the kind, let me get my tea, of the kind of bureaucratic nonsense people are having to deal with. I saw this again, you see, in my meeting with the Women's Rights Network the other day. Was it yesterday? Yes, whatever it was. You get to a point where you report something. So say, for example, you report a safeguarding issue, right? So somebody comes into, I don't know, a care home or a hospital, and you go, hang on a minute. They think they're the other sex. There's something wrong with them. This weirdo's egging them on. I think this person's a vulnerable person. Therefore, I'm going to make a safeguarding call. So you make the safeguarding call, and it goes up the ranks. But then you find yourself stifled by these bureaucratic levels, and these people going, well, it's not really safeguarded, is it? Because they're trans. So it's really getting in the way of the system. And that's one way of it occurring. And what we've got is Robbie explaining another way of it occurring. So here we go. Outhouse is a transgender lobby organisation based in Colchester. Have Your Say is a Colchester City Council initiative to let concerned citizens address councillors for 3 minutes on a relevant topic of their choice. What a nice initiative. I hope they're doing it right. I spoke, says Robbie, to the Cabinet meeting on 12th of July 2023 about Outhouse, the transgender lobby organisation based in Colchester. I asked why the council had recently given Outhouse 3 years funding for a coordinator's job, even while Outhouse had assets of £911,511. They have assets of nearly £1 million, and Colchester's given them money. What? This is a staggering amount for a local voluntary organisation. I chose the July Cabinet meeting to have my say because, as reported by BBC News, a boy under 16 had recently been arrested by police over serious sexual assaults in a gender-neutral toilet at the school in Essex. Allegedly covered by Outhouse project in schools, as suggested by Graham and Linehan. He says here, note that Outhouse is a kind of mini Stonewall for Essex that goes into schools to promote its ideological position on gender-neutral toilets. Ironically, they call themselves Outhouse then, isn't it? Follow these links to my Have Your Say in 1 minute YouTube clips. And then Robbie has kindly clipped what happened and put separate links so you can see each bit. Or you can go to the council meeting recording and go to 16 minutes 35. Outhouse, he says, has more money than it knows what to do with. Outhouse is an unincorporated registered charity. And he provides the number there. Formerly known as Outhouse East and originally as Colchester Gay Switchboard. So this is another example of capture by the TQ plus Nuttery. Capture. It lobbies for equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people in Essex and East Anglia. Outhouse's statement of financial activities for year ending the 31st of March 2022, the latest on record, that again is available. Robbie's provided links. This is Robbie all over, you see, the detail you need. Yep, What do we think? What do we know? What can we prove? This is absolutely Robbie's strength here. Shows that the charity is wealthy and has acquired ever-increasing funds in the last few years, with increases of over 50% a year from 2019 to 2022. Outhouse's 2022 statement shows total reserves of 911,511. Our funding, they said, has exceeded our objectives this year. Our grant income within these accounts amounts to £627,438. In grant income. To do what exactly, Outhouse? Shitehouse, by the sound of it, right? So, Robbie then details what the statement includes, and you can actually see the income streams as they grow over time. And it says that the statement includes, this is a statement from Outhouse, 3-year funding from the National Lottery to fund a chief executive, operations manager, media officer, finance officer, and other admin staff. 3 years funding from UK Youth Fund, Thriving Minds. 2 years funding from Lloyds Bank Foundation. What a surprise. 1 year's funding grant through Make Some Noise. 3-year funding from Colchester Borough Council to employ a counselling coordinator. Funding through Essex Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner. One of those priorities is to respond to the needs of individuals and local communities who are vulnerable to specific crime types such as hate crime, elder abuse, harassment, human trafficking, female genital mutilation, forced marriage and honour-based abuse. And 2 years funding to support young people through a variety of mediums. Go and have a look. Robbie's broken it down. It's an interesting case study. Robbie, you can see there in the council meeting having his say. And you can also see the kind of responses that people who do this important work at the level of policy are coming up against. It's absolutely extraordinary. It goes to show that these types of organisations need to be looked at very closely. We've got Manchester as opposed to Colchester, where Robbie is. Manchester, Burnham's sponsored some sort of company that's just a boondoggle. It's a company to go out there and put critical social justice and ESG and social emotional learning and all the other cobblers that comes with it onto small businesses in Greater Manchester. And that's being funded by the council. With my money, by the way. There seems to be, or appears to be, no way to do oversight. There may well be, and perhaps one of you can inform me of how that is done. But from the perspective of looking at this article and understanding what Robbie was trying to do and where he came from, it's fascinating to watch it take place in real time when you watch the videos of Robbie and his discussions subsequently with those who purport to let people have their say. As you can imagine, it doesn't go quite as expected. So my thanks to Robbie, warrior teacher, and like my good self, aging curmudgeon. And let's keep going, folks. Let's keep fighting. This is what we're up against. And the sooner we get our heads around it, the better. Because for those that have been in the fight a long time, they know this well. But if you're new to this and you're new to watching me and you're new to understanding, it's these kind of mini annoying bureaucratic snails that you end up having to deal with. And that's the bit that can get frustrating. And that's the bit that requires the tenacity. The tenacity to keep going. So thank you very much for listening. Please do go and have a look what Robbie the Warrior Teacher's up to, because it's an important way of doing things. And I shall see thee later.